The excavation for this home was initiated in the early spring of 1955. The home was designed by Frank Lloyd Wright for John E. and Catherine E. Christian as Mr. Wright's clients, and is located on a 1-acre site in West Lafayette, Indiana, near the Purdue University campus. The home was designed using a 4-foot by 4-foot module on a single floor concrete slab with no basement. The footings in the slab were poured over a layer of 5 1/2 inch minimum size broken stones. The bricks used were selected by Mr. Wright from 10 samples collected from local kilns and consisted of hard-burned face brick of reddish pink color. They were laid as specified with 3/8 inch raked horizontal joints, 3/8 inch deep. There were 5 courses of brick to a 1-foot 1-inch vertical unit. The vertical joints were laid flush with the bricks with 1/4 inch wide joints. The fireplace brick were especially made for this purpose and were of a light yellowish brown color. All the masonry walls and the fireplace were constructed first. The concrete slab and the framework were not done until later. The Christians first contacted Mr. Wright to design their home in June of 1950 and worked with him on details over a period of almost 5 years. The preliminary drawings and sketches were completed in the fall of 1954, and the final plans were turned over to the Christians by Mr. Wright himself on New Year's Day 1955 at Taliesin West. The photographs you see were taken from the northwest corner of the home, and at this point you can see to the right the brickwork of the carport storage area, and moving east, that is to the left, from there the general layout of the house can be visualized. The living room area has a southeast exposure, and the west wall consists of complete masonry except for 3 very narrow windows. The dining room is off the living room to the east. The workspace and utility room are in the center, and the bedroom wing, consisting of 3 bedrooms and 2 baths, are to the north. Mr. Frank Woods, a local contractor who studied Mr. Wright's architecture in detail, was selected as the builder on a cost-plus basis. He built one house at a time and was assisted by his son-in-law, Donald Martin, and an experienced carpenter, Evan Hines, with 2 other workmen. The brick mason was Bill Crum. Once all the masonry was in place, the building wood framing, including the partitions and the roof of the building, were put into place. As specified, all framing was number 1 dimension Douglas fir. The roof members were 2 inches by 10 inches. 10-inch wide steel beams supported the roof over the carport, and characteristic of Mr. Wright's construction details were anchored in the masonry to form cantilever support for the overhangs. It was now late October 1955, and the Christians were visited by Mrs. Christian's family from Storm Lake, Iowa. The Christians' 4 1/2-year-old daughter, Linda, accompanied by her cousin of about the same age, assisted in the building project for a short time by carrying bricks to the brick mason. The framework for the roof being in place, the detailed woodwork for the clerestory, the roof fascia, and the additional brick for the upper portion of the fireplace were completed. It was Mr. Wright's wish that one of his student apprentices be present during the critical stages of construction. Ed Kipta was so assigned. He was an experienced brick mason by trade and assisted in laying the bricks for the terrace wall surrounding the living room. Later, his assistance was invaluable in the construction of the inside wood finishing and the furniture. In preparation for the roof coating, sheathing consisting of 1 inch by 6 by 8 foot tongue and groove #1 Douglas fir, was put into place just ahead of the roofing paper. Both the lower and upper roofs were constructed flat. Thus, as specified, the roofs were of the build-up type, using 3-ply paper and hot melted tar as the sealant. White marble chips were placed on top to provide for reflection of the hot sun during the summer months. All flashings were constructed of 10-ounce copper. The roof was completed in late November, just prior to the beginning of a long, cold winter. The openings in the home were closed with plastic, and much of the work ceased until spring, except for the construction of some of the furniture, which was done in the living room using the large fireplace as a source of heat. Some of the copper radiant heat pipes were also laid during this period. Photographs of the exterior of the home show the general layout of the exterior portion, and especially show the Philippine mahogany fascia made up for the lower and upper roof lines. In the early spring, as weather permitted, the copper heat pipes were installed and tested. Concrete was mixed on the job and was poured 4 inches thick over the copper pipe to form the floor slab. This was done in stages to permit the necessary detailed effort in finishing the surface of the floor. Powdered red colorundum, iron oxide, was generously added to the surface at just the right curing time, and then steel troweled and floated into the surface to form a very dense, smooth finish with the red earth color that Mr. Wright always liked. All sections were marked with a lining tool to form a 1/2 inch V-joint on 4-foot unit lines, equaling the 4-foot modular plan of the whole house. With the floor in place, the inside finishing was begun. All exposed wood throughout both the inside and outside of the home was clear-grade Philippine mahogany. The partitions were of board and batten type construction, with the board part being 9 inches wide with beveled edges, and the batten part being recessed 3/8 inches and 2 inches wide. The core of the partition is 2 1/2 inches thick, supporting the 7/8 inch thick solid mahogany board and batten units. Battens holding the boards in place were secured with equally spaced nails on unit lines. Nails were neatly countersunk, and the openings were filled with matching colored softwood. Ceilings were plastered with an off-color white plaster. This process is seen being completed, first of all, on the outside ceiling adjacent to the guest bedroom, and next to the large ceiling area under the carport. Separate skilled craftsmen were subcontracted to do this job. It was now September 1956, 18 months after construction was initiated, and even though there was still much to be done, the Christian family moved into the home. During the fall, much of the Wright design furniture was constructed, and landscaping as specified by Mr. Wright was initiated. In the spring of 1957, the footings were poured for the outside lanai wall and the bricks laid by the brick mason. The lanai, the outside living area, is located off the dining room, the master bedroom, and the guest bedroom areas of the house. This is the east side, and the wall separates the lanai from the driveway along the north side. An interesting feature of the wall is the curved contour of the east wall, making up the only curved structure of the home. The home is now essentially complete, except for landscaping to be more completely executed, and according to Mr. Wright's landscape plan. There were many conifers, cone-bearing evergreens specified on the lot. The cones produced by these trees contain wing seeds called Samara, resulting in the name given to the house. Photographs taken over the next 3 to 5 years, 1958 to 1963, show the inside of the lanai area and the growth of the plantings. Again, the Christian's daughter, Linda, contributed to the photography. Further details of the outside appearance of the home and of the lanai brick wall are shown. Later, a few movies were taken of the general outside appearance, including the living room from the valley, the west wall with the long narrow windows, the entrance, oriental landscaping, and the carport area. The home was still not completely finished, with a brick driveway, garden lanterns, an entrance gate, and a three-dimensional oriented copper fascia for the lower roof yet to be added. Johnny Christian, narrator.